Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to create an accessible table in the new template in Cascade. So over here I've got a just blank page that I've set up. I'm going to click Edit and I'll go to full screen so we can see that. And just so you know, you probably won't see these two rows in your view of Cascade. They're just administrative rows. You probably won't have those. So you're just going to go to the first row here. And the tables are created in the WYSIWYG editor, which is right in here. So we go into, it's set to WYSIWYG editor, you can see. And WYSIWYG stands for what you see is what you get. It's like any kind of word processing editor. So I'm going to delete this content that gets put in there automatically. I'm going to go to Table, and then this is where you select the number of rows, columns in this case, columns, and then rows. So I'm going to do, let's see, 5 by 3. Now this isn't set in stone. You can go in and change this anytime, and I'll show you how to do that in just a little bit. So I'm going to do a 5 by 3 table. Here's our table, and really important thing to know in terms of accessibility, you need to scope header rows and or column headers and column rows as a column header and a column row, and I'll show you how to do that. So say we're going to do a table of weekday events. So I'm going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. And say, you know, Monday we have event 1, and then Tuesday we have event 2, and then we're going to go back to event 1, and then event 2, and then we'll do event 1 again. And I'm just going to actually copy these so you don't have to watch me type all that out again. In this table, very simple, the headers are column headers, and they're, so Monday is obviously the heading for this, Tuesday is a heading for this column, Wednesday heading for that column. So what we need to do is set each one of these cells as a header column. So I'm going to select all of them, since they're all column headers, select them all, right click, and then I go into cell properties, and the type is header, and the scope is column. Click OK, and there we go. You can see they're formatted a little bit differently. You can see these are clearly column headers. Now if they were row headers, I would just select these two, for example, right click, cell property, header cell, and then I would do row. You know, they're not really row headers like this, so I'm just going to undo that, but that's what you would do. Now if you want to add columns or rows, you can just place your cursor inside a cell, and then this row of icons show up. So say I want to insert row before, I can do that. I get this new row, I'm going to just undo that. You can insert a row after, you can insert columns. Say for instance I can do a column, there's a whole new column pops up there. You can do all that sort of stuff. And you can delete columns, which I'm not going to do, but they're all right here in these little icons. And another thing you can do to make tables accessible is to give them a caption. So if you place your cursor inside the table, this icon pops up, select table properties, and just to say none of these options except for one are going to work. They're all things to do with styling and cell spacing and height and all that. We've disabled all those, so tables will just look consistent across the university's website. So in advance, you know, there's options for border color and background color. You can set them, but they just won't work. We've disabled all of that. So the one thing that does work here is this caption. So if you check this caption box, click OK, there we go. So we're going to call this, so this little field here is the caption. So we're going to say weekly schedule of events. Okay, and I'm going to submit these changes, and we'll look and see what our table looks like now. There it is. So here is the caption. These are all the header cells, and then this is the tabular data. So these are scoped to each column. And the last thing to say about tables is that they will always expand to fill the full width of any column or row that they're in. So you don't have any control over that. Okay, great. I hope that helped. And if you do have any questions on tables, we do have a page on our support site all about tables. It's umt.edu cascade-support /build your website. It's in the WYSIWYG editor section, so it's / WYSIWYG-editor and then tables. Okay, thank you.